That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akashi.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder. He said, Shido-san.
Shido? Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who?
I believe he's a politician. Remember, Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
No!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes. Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this, just based on the connections I had from my previous job. I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do. So I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
That would be the Diet Building.
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right? Hell yeah! Nobody against it?
Of course!
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together! Time for revenge! Then it's unanimous!
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests. The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals, which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Guess you won't be going to school for a while. Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
Well, how do I put this?
Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow. Get some rest.
Well then.
Okay, now, we obviously have a lot to talk about, but let's get through this night first. You can talk to Sojiro, Mona, and Futaba. I don't think Sojiro and Mona have much important to say. The police report on your death isn't gonna show up at your school. No need to worry. Seems Prosecutor Nijima worked out some kind of deal with the higher-ups or something. I mean, they haven't even said anything to me. As long as you stay quiet, you'll be fine. And I guess if they reported your death now, they're basically be saying you were a Phantom Thief. They can't really go announcing that what the Phantom Thieves are, so I'm sure they'll avoid that.
Yeah.
Okay, he just repeats the same dialogue. Got it. Mona, what do you have to say?
Well,
That reminds me, your relationship with Akechi unexpectedly grew stronger, didn't it? Even though Akechi was talking to the fake you at the time. That's true. Akechi met the cognitive you in the palace. I don't know what he said to that version of you in there, but we should make use of this. And if nothing else, it shows our operation was a smashing success.
well,
What happens if I say the opposite? Akechi, it's gonna be the same thing. Got it. Now, as I remember, Futaba is actually the one that has the most important thing to say. Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kinda came in handy. How so? Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, that let me see GPS info for 2 phones, yours and his. Now, what could I do with that info? I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sai Nijima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi. That's when I saw my chance and beep sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator. But there was the chance they'd just pass each other without saying a single word. That's why we needed you to tell Sai Nijima to show the phone to Akechi.
whoa,
This plan still surprises me, no matter how many times I hear it.
but
Still, I couldn't just directly hack into the Metaverse Nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how it has the bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing the button was totally doable. Pretty good, huh? Anything else?
hey,
It may not look like it, but everyone else risked their lives too. Though there's no doubt you were the most at risk. I mean, you actually got arrested. But it seems like all the drugs and stuff made you forget the details of the plan. Want me to explain how it went down? Might take a bit, so we can definitely get more information.
alright,
Well, since the rest of us didn't get captured, we had to act. We had to pretend we never wanted you to get arrested, pretend the suicide was a real shock. Basically, we had to act like we didn't know anything 24/7. The enemy knows who we are, so we couldn't let our guard down even once while you were gone. If they had people watching us and realized that what our plan was, they would have killed you immediately. Want to hear more? I do.
bam,
Another tough part was figuring out how to get Sai Nijima and Akechi back from the metaverse. In order to return to reality, you have to go back to the point where you came into the metaverse. So Sai and Akechi had to go through where the nav activated, as in the hall where they met. Akechi would just come back the same way after the assassination. The real issue was Sai Nijima. We needed to stop her for a moment before she headed back toward the interrogation room. But nothing can be sent to a phone inside the palace, so I had to program the messages in beforehand. In doing so, I made it seem like the messages were coming at the exact moment in time. That part was kinda last minute, so I had to pull an all-nighter trying to get it set up. Really on a roll here, wanna hear more? Yes, please. Let me see, another problematic thing was...
oh, that's right,
Oh yeah, tying Akechi up. That was really tough. I obviously don't mean the real Akechi. Even if we could do that, it would ruin our plan. The one we had to tie up was Sai Nijima's cognitive Akechi. That part's really complicated. I know you're tired. You sure you want to hear all of this now? Yes, tell me all about it. Well, we needed to lure Akechi into Sai Nijima's palace and have him kill the cognitive Akira. But Akechi would have entered the palace immediately after meeting Sai Nijima in the hallway, right? Because of that, there was a pretty decent chance he'd run into the cognitive Akechi. And if that happened, Akechi would have totally realized we lured him into the palace.
you see,
Nobody actually even thought of this possibility until the night before the assassination. Makoto realized in the middle of the night, then it was a huge mess trying to figure out what to do. In the end, we chose to sneak into the metaverse while the plan was happening to tie up the cognition. Because you told Sai to show him the phone, we expected her to chat with him for at least a bit. So we had a few minutes to strike after the cognitive Akechi showed up, but before the nav activated. It was Operation Tie Him Up, though it wasn't really much of an operation in the end. Thankfully, Sai Nijima didn't know his true nature, so the one that appeared was an ordinary kid. It was pretty simple surrounding him, knocking him out and tossing him on another floor. But man, watching Makoto's skill was super amazing. I guess she does use Knuckles as her weapon. Basically, what I'm trying to say is appreciate what everyone else did. All sorts of stuff happened. I just can't help but rant when I'm talking about stuff that interests me. Sorry about that. Just focus on resting up. You don't have to worry about anything else. And seriously, well done, Akira. I think that's it.
Hey, listen!
No, I don't want to hear it again.
Man.
So there's all this stuff that had to happen to make the plan work, and I kind of feel like they had to retroactively add these explanations into the game later in the development process because it's super complicated and a lot went into it. But whatever, let's save the game. We will advance to tomorrow. We have more exposition to get through. We have to eventually find Shido's palace. We have a lot to talk about, but let's just go to bed for now.
I'm gonna head back then.
My goodness, what a day. Apparently, Akechi arrested the leader of the Phantom Thieves. Did he now? He's a hero. He's popular.
Phew.
So now that we're not going to school, we're going to see things from our teammates' perspectives. Oh, everyone just loves Shido. Obviously, we're not stupid, and we've kind of figured out for a while now that Shido is probably behind all this. And also, even though Joker doesn't know it yet, we're not dumb, and we know that Shido is also the man who framed Joker for the assault and got him put on probation before he moved to Tokyo. What a coincidence! Wow, funny how that worked out. Oh man. We are entering the final part of the game, and there's just, there's gonna be so much to talk about. Most of the cards are on the table now, not all of them. I heard you went home, so I announced it during homeroom. Are you okay? I am, thanks. Don't tell her she's a bad teacher, you jerk. You're alive. The news is reporting you committed suicide. Call me when you can. I was so confused, but as long as you're safe. Don't worry about school, just take care of yourself. So we're gonna get messages from a lot of our confidants. I don't know if there's a certain rule, like if they have to be maxed out, or whether or not if they're maxed out, it like changes the conversation. Because obviously you don't have that like talk of like, hey, you're a Phantom Thief, aren't you? Until you hit rank 10. So, Y and Mifune are like what, both at rank 9 or so? So I wonder if their messages will be a little different. Or if we'll even get messages from them. I can't quite remember. Did he call the students animals in a zoo? Like a bunch of love-struck baboons. I keep finding opportunities to do this. Working in Morooka. Hey, it can't be true, can it? Please tell me you're okay. All good. Oh, thank God you're safe. That suicide report was all over the news and Miss Kawakami said you went back to your hometown. I was honestly worried about contacting you. Even Sakamoto was dodging the question when I tried to ask him. But don't worry, I won't tell anyone. By the way, the fan site is a real mess right now. But I'll keep supporting you from the shadows. Good luck. I just got a chat message from Oya. Some crazy stuff is going on with the Phantom Thieves. Are you okay? I'm fine. Really? Oh, that's good. It's chaos over here because of the Phantom Thieves. You're still alive, so you must be scheming something, right? I gotta prepare myself for one more mountain. But I'm glad you're okay. I'm busy, so I'll talk to you again later. Yeah, don't draw so much attention. Maybe we shouldn't be eating at the counter anyway. I don't feel very hidden at the moment, but I guess we're not open yet. Yeah, but what if Akechi just walked through the door right now?
Okay.
Oh yeah, the curry has energized me, so now I can think of key words on how to get into Shido's palace. Group chat? Have you guys figured out the keyword to Shido's palace yet? I've tried all sorts of stuff, but no luck so far. It is hard to understand the thought process of a criminal mastermind like him. You know, I've been wondering, if he's behind all those mental shutdowns, doesn't that mean all the weird accidents from these past 2 years were his fault? Like that subway accident back in April. Yeah, you remember that? You remember how we saw the animated cut scene of the train accident? And then like 30 seconds later, Akechi was on screen? Weird how that worked out, huh? Now that you mention it, that accident lost the Minister of Transport his job. Wait, are you trying to say Shido caused that accident? But it's the subway. Does he not care at all about innocent lives? This man seems to be truly unbelievable. Supposedly, there are still tons of victims from that in the hospital even now. Masayoshi Shido, how many has he killed over the years? How could we never ever understand what goes on in the mind of such a horrible man? Hey, wouldn't it be faster if we just got there and try and think about it on site? Let's try that. If we're going to go, I'd like a Kirakun to join, but will that be okay? Won't somebody spot him there? Yeah, we'll probably figure out the keyword in no time once we're there. Plus, I could throw off anyone who tails us with my blazing speed. Alright, let's have a Kirakun join us then. Remember though, we're going with the intent of not being seen. Okay, well, let's meet in front of the diet building and force the bastard's palace open.
Well then.
Alright, let's head to the diet building. Make sure you aren't discovered, okay? That's why I've got this fancy new winter outfit on. Look at me.
What is it?
Look how inconspicuous I am now. Yep, that's the plan. You gotta be kidding me. You realize you're done for if you get caught, right? The stunts you pull sometimes. Just don't stay out too late. You kids these days. Faking your deaths and whatnot.
Akechi isn't here.
Let's begin at once. Police cars are making rounds, so we can't stay here too long. We already have Masayoshi Shido and Diet Building. All we need is what he thinks of this place.
Maybe Mount Fuji, since it's the highest place in the country?
Conditions have not been met. What about a mansion?
Since he's going to subjugate everyone as Prime Minister, perhaps a school?
What about an arena, like the Colosseum?
Imperial Palace? It's no good.
I thought we would have gained entry by now. Maybe we shouldn't have called you here.
Hey, you think he's guarding his whole palace with a barrier? Shido stole the cognitive science research, right? Well, maybe it had some special move written in it.
Is that even possible?
Who knows? I've got no idea. There was nothing like that in the notes I saw.
Anyways, what kind of person is Shido? I can't figure him out.
I did some light research on him last night, but I couldn't get a grasp on the type of man he is.
That man over there is probably a legislator, right? I'll try asking him. Excuse me. I'm a member of the newspaper club at my high school. May I speak with you for a moment?
Sure.
What kind of person is Representative Shido? What's he think about the national diet?
His stance is dedication for country. It's how he's garnered everyone's trust. He's an admirable man of action, with a first-class determination. I'd say he's a model politician. I believe that he'll help create a wonderful future in which young adults like you can live in ease.
An exemplary answer. It makes sense he wouldn't tell teenagers anything unnecessary.
Look over there. He's on a walkie-talkie.
Wait, is it about us?
That doesn't look good.
We should leave at once. Tomorrow's a day off, so let's have an early strategy meeting. Meet at LeBlanc, okay?
We should all think about this tonight.
The criminals calling themselves the Phantom Thieves are no more. However, I believe that this country's citizens are still living their days in anxiety. These scandals only increase our distrust of the current government. As a citizen myself, I am enraged.
Look who's talking.
What does it mean to be a politician with responsibility? Working toward personal gain without consideration of the country is outrageous.
The election's public notification is tomorrow. But no matter where I go, people are cheering for Shido.
Everyone's being deceived so easily.
I tried looking Shido's interviews up online. They all sound so goddamn fake. I checked his profile as well, but I couldn't find much outside of his title and education. He's currently 53 years old, and has gone from being a metropolitan assemblyman to a representative. 53 is actually like substantially young for becoming prime minister. Though he is a cabinet minister, he's split from the ruling party to form the United Future Party. Shido's a cabinet minister? For real? He was specially appointed to the position. That's his current title. Apparently, he also won a contest for people who most like to have as their boss. Oh, weird. Even the news sites write about him as though he's assured to become the prime minister. If only we could find out the meaning behind Shido's words.
In order to save this country that has been tainted by villains, social reform is essential.
Ugh.
Shido's reputation is truly astronomical. It's preposterous. This isn't the popularity level of a normal politician anymore. What's so great about him? I seriously don't get it. He's a strong leader who protects his citizens. Well, supposedly. Is everyone blind? We'll just need to shed light on who he really is. By the way, is it okay if my sister joins us tomorrow? She's hoping she can be of help as well. That's fine. Okay, I'll tell her that. Okay, we'll figure out the keywords tomorrow for sure. Alright, let's go to bed. Get ready for that meeting tomorrow. Yeah, Shido is like pretty young to become prime minister. Japan's current prime minister, Shinzo Abe. He's actually, I don't know how common this is because this would like never happen in the US, but he's actually in his like second stint as prime minister. He did it like last decade, and then there were some people in between, and now he's prime minister again. And I know the first time he became prime minister, he was like the youngest ever. And I think he was like, I don't know, in his like mid-50s, late 50s by the time that happened or something. Also, Shido looks incredible for 53. He does not look 53 at all. As your physician, I would like to confirm something. Please contact me as soon as you see this. I'm still alive, Takumi. Stop making me worried. I'm glad you're okay. I just got nervous when I saw the news. Well, I'll be at the clinic if you need any medicine. Nothing but the Phantom Thieves.
Last one. Diamond mine.
No good.
How many do we miss?
Perhaps he truly does have a barrier up.
Right?
That's not something to be excited about.
We know all the way up to Diet Building, too.
So you enter keywords into the Metaverse Navigator.
Boss, can you turn the TV on? Shido might be on it.
Sure thing.
Goro Akechi. Him and his stupid composed face.
So, Akechi-san, is it true you withdrew yourself from the media as part of your plan to capture the Phantom Thieves?
I truly apologize for causing such a stir. Honestly, it required a lot of courage to openly oppose them when their popularity was at its peak. I mean, people often lashed out at me online and whatnot.
Then was it also your plan when you said they weren't at fault after their popularity declined?
That was to catch them off guard. I could say I applied my profiling knowledge. Once they lost public support, someone they thought was their greatest enemy lent a hand. That's the same strategy used in romance, wouldn't you agree?
Why is he being treated as an ace detective of justice?
It's not just on TV or online. Newspapers, magazines. I see his face everywhere.
On the other hand, no one's hoping for our comeback on the fan site. Like, at all.
Phantom Thieves are evil. Shido and Akechi are just. It should be the other way around.
They're manipulating information using the media.
Leaving Akechi aside, we'll get back at him later. Our main issue is Shido.
Were there any instances before when you didn't know the palace keywords?
Well, there was the time with Futaba.
We didn't know anything about her, so all we could do was make conjectures.
Then why don't we just go directly and see Shido?
That's impossible. He's surrounded by bodyguards and followers all the time.
There's no way high school students can get an appointment with him either.
Well, we do have an adult with us.
No, that's still impossible. Besides, that's too dangerous a method.
Well, this is a problem.
What's with the ruckus outside?
To everyone gathered before Yongen-Jaya Station.
Isn't that an election campaign car?
Oh right! The candidates are currently campaigning!
That voice.
I apologize for the commotion. I am Masayoshi Shido.
Wait, did he just say Shido?
Yeah, he did!
Sounds like the same voice I heard back then.
Man, talk about being lucky! We can go check him out without an appointment now!
Hey, Ryuji ran off toward the station. This way. Hurry! By the way, did something happen? It didn't seem well a moment ago.
Alright, let's go. The way that we never go. Our government is littered with scandals, and criminals have taken a strong foothold in our society. Such a disgraceful past must be discarded. We must set sail into a new future of dreams and hope. So our children who carry the burden of the next generation can be proud of their country. So our nation can once again become a powerful one with abundant wealth and luxury. So our beautiful home will be acknowledged as the best country in the world.
I humbly ask that you cast your vote for me, Masayoshi Shido. Let us all set sail toward a happy future, together. I hope to continue serving you all.
Is that the guy? You guys wait here. I'll go get intel for us.
Wait!
Hey! Yo, Shido-san!
Stand back.
I just want to talk to him for a sec.
He's a busy man.
The hell? Ain't he supposed to hear a citizen's comments?
That's enough, Brad.
You're that asshole we met at the hotel before, at the elevators. Oh, I'm sorry. So you can butt in front of other people if you're in a hurry?
What are you talking about?
That moron! Come on, stop!
But these guys...
Hey, kid. You don't want to know what happens when you cross me.
That voice.
It seems the customer base has changed since I was here last. Have they started a daycare? This ain't a show.
Get lost, kid. Damn brat! I'll sue!
This man. There's no mistake. He's the same man as the one from before.
What are you looking at? This country is filled with clueless children. I worry for Japan's future. Let them go. My next appointment is coming up.
What a piece of shit. So what do you think after seeing him in person? Wait, he's the jerk you told us about before? The same guy? For real? Seriously?
You're sure, aren't you? Shido's the one who ruined your life.
Holy shit. I don't believe it.
Let's get going, okay?
Shido's the guy who set you up?
What kind of fate brought you two back together?
Talk about a destined connection. Shido was involved in the cognitive research too, right? This can't be dismissed as just a coincidence.
God, what the hell's going on here?
Shido was already a politician then, yet he sued a student and ruined his future? He must have pulled some strings so that his name wouldn't be mentioned. Furthermore, he also would have had to force that woman into making a false statement.
He would do anything. We're talking about a man who ordered a hit inside the police station.
He can't sit still until he crushes whoever opposes him, no matter how trivial. He's always been that way.
What a piece of shit. Children are the future, my ass! What he's saying and doing are completely different!
But now that we found out who did it, can't something be done about his record?
Once the courts have made a judgment, overturning that decision will be difficult. It'd barely be possible even if proof of innocence is presented and Shido admits to his crimes.
At any rate, we need to trigger a change of heart in him.
Be that as it may, Shido's outer appearance and his true face are wholly different. It's beyond hypocritical. It's as if he's an entirely different person.
He speaks about the good of the country. It makes me wonder what really is on his mind.
That man's full of ambition to rise in the world. He only thinks of the weak as stepping stools for his success.
He treats himself as an elite man while looking down on others. That's the worst.
I assume the keyword for what he believes the diet building is will be despicable too.
It must be something self-centered and completely different from politics.
Someone like him needs to be punished as soon as possible.
Let's head to the diet building again right after school tomorrow. I feel we'll get it this time.
Stewing over it won't get anywhere. We have to do this.
The guy behind everything turned out to be your archenemy. What an oddly poetic twist. Right?
Well then. Yeah.
Okay, this is a weird detail. You'd stand out if everyone else is wearing their school uniforms. It might be a good idea to wear your uniform when you head out. I should wear my school uniform when I head out tomorrow. I'll talk about this a little later. I'm still looking for that particular message that appears on the fan site around now. Then again, I think we have like a month to see it, so it's not a big deal if we don't. This is an unfortunate scene. Should you have chosen to date on at this point in the game, she would leave you for a guy with a Vita. Because there's nothing more attractive than a guy with a PlayStation Vita. This is fact, proven by science. I mean, Vita means life, and life is tied to virility. It's not true that the Phantom Thieves leader died, right? Don't worry. Actually, did we max out Shinya? I can't remember. Thank goodness. There's no way the Phantom Thieves could be defeated. Man, it's such a relief to hear things are okay. Well, if you need anything, I'll be at the arcade. I don't think we did. I think he's at like rank 8 or 9. And that's why he was like, oh, is the Phantom Thieves leader okay? Rather than asking if we specifically are okay. I think he figures it out as well. Guess we'll find out. I hope this isn't checkmate. It's a reverse pin. Thank goodness you're alright. You're such a bad student. Hiding the pieces isn't allowed, you know. Well, if you need anything, I'll be at the church. I also got a chat message from Yoshida, too. The Phantom Thieves have been on the news recently. I was wondering how you're doing. Are you going to give up without accomplishing your goal? I'm fine. So you're okay. That's a relief. I'm expecting great things from the Phantom Thieves. If you need anything, I'm happy to help, my comrade. A little disappointed that Hifumi didn't have unique like text dialogue, considering we're in a relationship with her. Gotta do something about that keyword.
Security guards became suspicious of us last time, so we can't stay here for long. But we still have no hit.
Think it's a barrier after all?
Where'd your enthusiasm from yesterday go?
Ah, shut up. The real game starts at 2 outs.
Enough chatting. You should only be thinking about the keyword.
The citizens are secondary. He only cares about his own well-being and that of his lackeys.
He wants to become Prime Minister, even if it means trampling on others. Fortune, rich people.
Hey, can you think of anything based on what you've heard from him? Just try saying anything. It doesn't matter if you guess.
Incompetent fools like you just need to shut your mouths and follow where I steer this country.
Steer? It was a match?
What? The Diet Building's a ship? What kind of scenery will that be? The actual building's on land.
I can't even begin to imagine what it will be like.
Well, whatever it is, looks like there are no barriers.
Oh, shut up! Let's hurry up and go in.
Are we clear of the guard's sight?
Get closer to the wall just in case. All right, do it.
Wait!
Hey.
How's it look over there? See anything?
Nah, it's totally normal.
I'll check it out. Huh?
What the heck?
What's up, Futaba? Futaba?
What is it?
The hell?
Even though this country may sink, he alone will survive. That's what this cognition is about, huh?
This is bullshit! A country that children can be proud of my ass is completely sunken in his head. If a guy like this stands above everyone, we're seriously done for.
This is beyond ridiculous.
The same goes for Akechi. He should have seen this scenery as well. Yet he still aided Shido.
What in the world is he thinking?
Whether it be for glory or for simply a reward, my father died because of someone like this.
We gotta sink Shido instead of this country.
A palace with not just the center of the distortion, but the entire country sunken. I can't believe there's someone with this tremendous of a desire. Be careful. This will be completely different from past palaces.
We're definitely gonna take his treasure. lame way to start this off.
No, I think that's how it should be. We haven't failed yet, so if we calmly give this our all, the results will surely follow. We must put an end to this by December 17th, the day before the elections.
Let the infiltration begin. Time to pay him back for setting us up into a trap.
Wait.
If our clothes aren't changing, I guess he doesn't see us as a threat yet, huh? Speaking of that, shouldn't Akira have just been hiding himself on the way here? Seeing someone in a disguise with a bunch of school kids in school uniforms would be super weird.
You got it.
Well, we won't have to worry about any of that once we steal the treasure. Let's do this. That is a load of crap. That is such a lie. It's really obvious that the real reason that the hero's wearing his school uniform is because that animated cutscene was made early in development, and if they had him wear his disguise, it would have contradicted it. It's so obvious. That happens a lot in the game. I think even the whole thing about the fake briefcase at the end of the Nijima Palace, that is also something that was put in late in development to like make a concession with the animated scene. Because at the start of the game, he has the fucking the briefcase with him. So like, where does he get it? And then like, what happens to it? Apparently, he leaves it somewhere and On picks it up or something. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense because they made those cutscenes really early in development and then had to like do things in the game around it to explain them. Okay, so I had to rearrange my team because obviously we don't have Crow with us anymore. Oh man, yeah, about that. Okay, so I should also save my game.
I'll just add this.
Let's see, we're at 93 hours, 27 minutes. Alright. So I think I'm actually going to cut a little short here. Actually, I'm not quite sure where I am on time. Things have gotten a little weird with like timing and editing in these last few episodes because I've been trying to make it all fit and make sense and try to make it 1 hour, but they've been like a little short, a little ahead. I don't know. I'm going to cut it here. In the next one, we will pick up and go into Shido's palace and start seeing what it's all about. We have a lot of things to talk about, obviously, because like I said earlier, most of the cards are on the table now. Most of them, not all of them. There's still some twists in the game to go. But now I can talk about things like Akechi being an antagonist character. I can talk about Shido. I can talk about this palace. In the future, I'm going to get to finally more openly talk about some of the designs of the Persona, or the Phantom Thief costumes, which have obviously always been there, but there's kind of been a reason why I haven't talked about them yet, and we'll get to that later in this palace. So look forward to all of that. Look forward to this very short month of December that's going to come up. I said like a few parts back that the game really starts to speed up around now, and that's obviously because most of our confidants are in very late stages, so we don't have a lot of scenes to sit through anymore. Like, the only one that really needs work is Haru, because obviously we got her so late, but the others, it's like a couple ranks, maybe 1, 2 in the case of Futaba, a couple for a Y, 1 with the others, a couple with Shinya. Like, it's gonna go by really fast. We're gonna end up filling a lot of time in the month of December before we ultimately defeat this palace. So this is it for me. Get ready for the last big long haul of the game, and I will see you next time.